Alright guys, so we're tuning into Khanada's game 1 here. We're going to be doing a VOD review of Khanada, Crunchy, who got second place, and maybe Aspect. Again, I mentioned earlier, but I asked him for permission to VOD review. Hasn't gotten back to me, so we'll see how that goes. So right off the rip, Khanada starts streaming once he's already in queue so that stream sniping isn't a factor. After game 1, he usually W keys, lands steamy. Wants the spawn fight. So, I mean, he lands steamy because that's his squad spot. He's pretty comfortable. Game 1, people are pretty easy. Like, that kid didn't know what he was doing. Never fired a shot at Khanada. So we're just going to fast forward this, really. I think I'm just going to go ahead and, like, unless someone in the chat wants to, like, learn something from this, really. I feel like the first game, we're not going to learn that much. Like, he just W keys everyone. Like, everyone. Like he went over to Orchard to W key this guy. Trapped him. Went over here to Salty Springs. He's fighting this guy. Like, you just W key every single person. Goes into, like, 9 people left. 12 kills. If you want to watch every single kill, you can watch his YouTube video. But like for this VOD review, I don't want to spend so much time on this. So again, like he's W king everyone. Very low tier, low skill lobby here. But that's mainly the goal, right? Like you drop like as close to a 20 bomb as possible with a win, and that gives you like a nice comfortable lead for the rest of the tournament. Did he start late? There's no way for me to tell. There's no clock on the screen. I mean, when he backs out to the lobby, I can see how much time is remaining because he started the stream when the game started. So he probably started, if games are 22 minutes, this was what, 47 minutes? So he may have started, I don't know, 13 minutes late. But again, that's not intentional, but it can become intentional because he has a train ride, so he doesn't get home till like a little after the Cash Cup actually starts. So it's not actually part of his strategy, but like I think it actually helps him. Have I told him to change his sense? Just his ADS. There's no point for you to change your sense if you're good on it.
Are you gonna bar?
The only sense I've told him to maybe change was his ADS, his AR. Because when I was working with him like 2 months ago in trios, he was missing a lot of AR shots, but we chalked that up to him not being warmed up because he got home from school and then went straight into the tournament. And he did lower it, didn't feel comfortable, switched back. And I don't know, like at the end of the day, I think he's just comfortable on this sense. So like changing your sense isn't going to do much, like ever. Like the reason you're not winning isn't because of your sense ever. Like that's never the reason that you're not winning tournaments. Like
literally RPGs me and still gets destroyed.
Like it's always some other factor. Oh yeah, I remember this. We're going to watch this back. So this is regarding the pickaxe meta here. So here he's pickaxe swinging this guy back there. Right? Like, hey, let's rotate. Like he pickaxe back, we're chill. He sees this guy. He's like, all right, I'm going to go around this guy. And then he gets close to this guy. This guy is either a scumbag or he thinks Khanada was a scumbag. So he RPGs Khanada because Khanada was too close. Right? And this is something I told Khanada. Like, you can pickaxe swing and do all that, but you can't be too trusting because it'll end up cucking your games. If you trust the guy's pickaxing too much, this will happen. Because this game he got RPG'd. Then like 3 or 4 games later, he got AR beamed because he was trying to like pickaxe rotate. I don't blame the kid. He got way too close. Yeah. In hindsight, I was thinking the same thing. Like, well, my first reaction was like, wow, that guy sucks because he just RPG'd him, right? But in reality, like, he probably thought Khanada was getting way too close. So that's just kind of the thing, right? Like, you can try to do the pickaxe swing, but like, you can't really depend on other people not to be scumbags or not to be dumb or like not to be irrational, right? Like, it's solos. You don't know who's in your lobby. There's probably 25 good players in your lobby and then 75 like irrational, not so smart players. Yeah, he ends up killing the guy, fortunately. But like, that moment could have ended his game. We're gonna keep going. Oh, this is another situation. So he rotates from that's where the fight was, over here. He rotates all the way over this ledge, follows some other guy's path. They like pickaxe at each other, and then finally Khanada settles down here. And Khanada was like letting this guy just spam him for like hours, right? Like, this guy was just non-stop spamming. He didn't have a reason to not spam. We'll watch this out just so you guys can get the full context, but this guy becomes an issue later on. Yeah, guy starts randomly shooting you. Here, the thing that was wrong here is like, and I think this loot pile was like, it was a guy who was spraying and this guy on the ground, and everyone just kind of wanted the loot pile, right? But the guy who was spraying non-stop was the real issue here. Khanada versus this guy would not have been an issue, but it was like a guy on the worst possible angle spraying him, and then like all this happens, right?
I'm done.
So after this game, we talked about it. Like, that, if that ever happens again, take your RPG and shoot it at the guy spraying you nonstop. You have to give that guy a reason to stop spraying. Otherwise, he's just gonna do this. Like, you gotta make that guy, you gotta pressure that guy, you gotta make him stop. He has no reason whatsoever to not spend all his ammo here.
I'm done.
Right? He had what, 9 RPGs. Let me check the quality here. All right, we're high quality. He had 9 RPGs that he could have fired at the guy. That would have been the counter pressure play he needed in order to like make that guy just stop, right? 1 rocket, 2 rocket, 3 rockets. You'll see it later on in the VOD towards like the last 2 games. He actually does that. But just spending that utility, like snipe the guy, RPG the guy, do whatever you need to make him stop.
What am I like? What is? I'm literally getting shot for no reason, bro. It's fine.
Would spraying be a good way to make them stop if you don't have a sniper RPG? It's not ideal. A sniper's not ideal. I mean, an AR is not ideal, but maybe it makes them stop. Who knows? Like if you start spraying his wall, and then he resets his wall, it's weak, and you AR spray and get a tag through, he loses like 30 shield. Maybe that's enough. But him knowing that you have an RPG or a sniper, that's even better. Like, giving him the knowledge that you have an RPG or a sniper is better than, like, I don't know, like if you have an AR, that's not really gonna scare someone.
It happens.
Like, the point of that is just to scare them, not to mess with you. Even if you spray for like 5 seconds. So basically, if you don't harm them and he is spraying, if you don't have them and he's spraying, you should try disengage and hold your builds to survive or what. You could try switching to metal and hoping that the metal fully builds, because it takes a full clip of AR to break well-built metal, right? So they're spending their AR. I mean, brick is fine too, but like, you probably get like 20 bullets from an AR clip before the wall breaks. But with metal, I think you get like, it tanks the entire AR clip, I believe. Someone can test it out on creative, but I think that's the benefit of like metal sometimes. Like investing in a metal box, and then you can back up to like an old build while that metal box builds. The other thing he could have done too is like hide in his cone. Because that guy wasn't pressuring his Khanada's cones, he was pressuring his walls. That's also another thing that a lot of people don't really do, right? When their walls are getting pressured, just like jump in your cone. Because a lot of times they don't shoot the cone, they just shoot the wall. We're just gonna fast forward here to endgame. I'm sure most of you guys already like, I don't know, I'm assuming most of you guys saw some of his gameplay. I don't really want to talk about like mid-game rotations, that's not really my focus. I'd rather talk more about like endgame. Alright, so what I'm really interested in is like here from this moment forward. Oh, that was Booga, yeah. I think Booga was in a fight like over here. I think Booga was fighting some guy over here. Zone was moving and that guy wanted to fight and it was just like a bad rotate. They were fighting all the way up and then Booga won the fight against that guy and rolled up on Khanada. And like Booga was trying to get his bearings or whatever, and it just happened to be that he rolled up on Khanada for this one. Thoughts on Clicks and Khanada becoming duos? I don't know. It'd be crazy if they did. Like, good crazy. Like, they'd be... Like, mechanically, they'd be probably the best duo, but like... it just kind of comes down to if they have a brain together, right? If they're like smart together. This is another thing we worked on too. Like anytime he has a trap, that's a free kill. Like always part of it, like your mental checklist. And this is probably like one of the harder trap plays to pull off too, when the guy's above you. So just like the little cone or whatever floor trap. When you do duo and Khanada's chest as Clicks, yeah, that's because when they were trying Clicks out for squads or whatever, they really enjoyed like box fighting and like just shitting on everyone basically. So I've no doubt like in a 2v2 they would shit on everyone. But will they have good end game chemistry is what I have a question. Right? Will Clicks in endgame tell Khanada, drop all your floppers for me, I'm gonna clutch this out solo? Or will they play it like an actual duo? That's my question. Oh, this guy was the RPG. This one was rough. He played it well because he could hear the guy reload. I remember this. He played this well. He tried to take it on him, take height. Yeah, so he ended up killing Mayo. And this guy came up. It was a 1v1. Khanada was out of mats. I think Mayo was out of rockets, which made that possible. The drop down, the ramp to negate his fall damage. Playing this 1v1 really slow. Which is like so good.
Let's go! I'm the best! I'm literally the best!
So I'm gonna watch this back, right? I'm gonna watch this back because this is probably like one of the biggest things he's improved on.
Free cash?
This 1v1 situation, like, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Khanada and his gameplay or whatever, but like he used to, these 1v1s was probably, for lack of a better word, like he used to choke the 1v1s at the end, which led to a lot of second places when he could have gotten firsts. And he spent probably like 2 weeks like VOD reviewing Benji, Booga, like VOD reviewing all the good solo players and specifically focusing on the 1v1s at the end. Playing this a lot more slowly. Right? Taking his time. He's not dropping down to like 50-50 the guy. He's playing it like super smart. Thankfully, the guy wasn't really pressuring him. Right? Not giving up height. Not giving him any, any angles. Staying on the back of his his flat only peeking, like crouch peeking, giving him as few of an angle or as little of an angle as possible. Just working away at the guy, staying in storm, again using that flat as cover. Like, yeah, he gets a trade or whatever.
Let's go!
But it wasn't like a fatal trade. It was like he chipped. Like the flat takes most of the damage, and then maybe 40 of the damage gets to Khanada. Like this is probably like the hardest part of solos, like this final 1v1 here.
Let's go! I'm the best!
Yeah. Massive improvements in his endgame 1v1s. Yeah, here he didn't go for any of the crates, which I was really happy about. Because he had 2 crates, right? Like he even had one on top of his head. But like most of the time in solos, when you go up to a crate, it leads to death. So he just ignores the crates and goes straight to zone. Because there's really nothing, maybe an RPG that you can pull from a crate really that'll like increase your chances of winning the game. Like maybe the RPG, but like is the RPG worth? Like here, you already see like both crates get taken, right? One gets taken, and then the other. If Khanada were to build to either one, he would have met was that solo that went for the crate. And they would have had like a little fight, and Khanada would have been on the low ground pushing the crate. The other guy would have been probably on high ground most likely. Instead of going for the crates, he just went to zone. I thought that was probably like the smartest play he did all of his cash cup. Like if I had to narrow down like top 3 smartest plays, like this would be number 1 probably, because it's such a small thing. This is why you're in your cone. This is why you sit in your cone, guys. You don't sit in the box, you sit in the cone. This guy bases up on top of Khanada and then starts being like a dickhead. We'll see in a little bit. You see this? This is why you sit in your cone, because of people like this. This guy, if Khanada wasn't in his cone, if Khanada was in his box instead, this guy would have just kept pickaxing the box, the cone, trying to wall replace his roof with 0 risk, 0 repercussions. But because Khanada's in his cone, he gets that nice 79 on him. And the guy stops. Like, the guy isn't an issue. Khanada's full HP, conserving his mats. He doesn't need to, like, edit out, make a new box because this guy was, like, potentially low ping, is getting all his cones. No, like, the guy just becomes a non-issue. And we're chilling. Why is that not a fight to take? Because zone... Like, you have to go to zone. The guy does beam him, right? I was worried because Khanada didn't block off here. Like, I think Khanada should have blocked off a little earlier because that guy was definitely playing emotionally, right? Like you're the guy who just pumping, I'm gonna make sure I screw your game over. So that guy sitting up there is like an issue now because he knows this is the guy who just pumped me and I just got my payback instead of rotating. Yeah, thankfully he just like keeps going. Khanada is very trusting with the pickaxing, I've noticed. Yeah, I told him that. I think towards the last game he started getting more suspicious of players. And since we're getting more kills endgame, that's all I've struggled with really. I don't know. It's a good question that I'll try to answer as the VOD review goes on. Do you put much emphasis on the material type you use? Yeah, when you're in the position where you don't want to get RPG'd, I would build out of metal. Because metal tanks RPG. Brick doesn't. stay ahead of zone, look back. Yeah, that's the bread and butter of solos. And they have you pressuring them from the front, so they're kind of sandwiched between Storm and your AR spray. Yeah, this is so good. Get the walls where you can and make the edit immediately so that you don't get walled off. Just like that. You see that? This is like a micro mechanic thing that a lot of people don't do. Because what stops you from getting this kill is if they wall you off like this. So he got both of these walls. You guys can see. Last time, I promise. But he got 3 walls in a row here. 1, 2, and then he got the one that was supposed to block that guy off. That's a little micro mechanic thing that Khanada does so well. Does Khanada always look for height after he crosses fists into 6? We've had conversations with Khanada. I don't know if, like last week we talked about him just playing low because playing high got him killed a lot. Like he tended to die a lot. But I think he starts to not play for height that much unless he knows for sure he can kill the guy up top. So here the guy up top's not being very, like, he's not having a huge presence. It almost feels like he's out of mats. And I think Khanada knows that, right? Like such a clean kill here. Right, the guy is not pressuring, he's not, it's almost like the guy's just chilling here. So he does the double ramp cone, right? He does all the walls, claims all the walls and the floor. Literally every single edit in this box is Khanada's. He does traps, 2 traps, boom, free kill on height. Freest kill on height ever that you've ever seen. Yeah, going back down to like the 1v1s, right? I can't remember if he won this or not. I think he did. But like playing the 1v1 so much slower and like smarter. It's really what it comes down to in solos to like capitalize on those wins. Yeah, I think he won this one.
Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah, so he got this floor here, which stopped the guy from editing through, right? Giving Khanada height still. Khanada didn't have a lot of mats, so he didn't like build fight the guy. He just kind of played it super smart. Got the strong peek here. I guess the guy didn't have like, you know, a hard pump on him. Khanada lost like maybe 30 shield.
Let's go!
And then Khanada got the second one. That's the other thing, guys. Like, when it comes to like the attack trades, you always want to make sure you get the first one. Because if you get the first one, the other guy gets one more, then you get the last hit. But if the other guy gets the first hit, then he gets 2 hits on you while you get 1. Right? Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, here you get the first one. The guy does 1. You get another one. And then maybe you wall off. Maybe you don't. But, like, the point here is you get 2 while they get 1.
Let's go! Let's go! I'm so good, dude!
That's like a micro thing.
So good!
I don't know. Khanada, I feel like Khanada's just getting started, guys. Like, that's my opinion, my personal belief. I think this is just the first of many. This kid, like you tell him something and he picks it up so fast. Like you don't even have to like sit there explaining or whatever. Like he just quickly picks it up. I think that's his best feature. Like I'll tell him something like, I don't know, mid-tournament I DM'd him when he got sprayed out that he could have RPG'd the guy. And then a few games later, he applies that and just RPGs the guy like 4 times that's spraying him. Like he just picks up concepts so fast. He's just getting started, guys. 3 out of 4 wins. Yeah, and like a week or 2 ago, he was just like he was choking the wins, right? Now you can tell, like you can see his improvement. In terms of most improved, I think most improved are Benji and Khanada. Ability to adjust on the fly is a huge skill. Yeah, like adapting on the fly. Like I don't have to like drill any concept in with Khanada. Like he just gets it. I'm not focused on mid game this VOD review. I'm just like, we'll watch a fight or 2 because his fights are insane. But like he has a YouTube video up to watch all his fights. You can go watch his fights. If his YouTube, if you want to like see all his mechanics in fight. We're going to focus mainly on like his end games, I feel like, or like anything that that costed him the game. Like cost. Yeah, here. There's something I wanted to go look at later. I guess he just didn't make the edit. Yeah, and then he loses trap. But yeah, always going for the trap, guys. Always go for the risk-free trap play. Like you said, risky trap, but like not really. Like a trap play is here. Let's see if mid VOD view I can pull up this Nosh clip to show you guys. So this is the Nosh clip, I think. Yeah. So
I have to trap them or I'm dead.
hear that? Like here Nosh doesn't have the health advantage. He just got hit by a lot and he immediately says, I have to trap kill him or I'm dead. I thought that was like something interesting. And then he goes for the top edit. Like he expects the guy to come down and start wall replacing him. So he insta traps the guy before the guy even gets his first pickaxe swing off. Like the guy just, his feet just touched the ramp and he's already got the trap up above him. That on top of like making a secondary edit. The trap hits because the guy was like dead center trying to escape. And now it's like, now somehow Nosh turns the fight around and now Nosh has the health advantage. The guy's like 30 HP, 20 HP maybe. Right? I don't have to watch the whole video, but like you get the idea. With Khanada, I think he was going for this similar thing, but I think he scuffed the edit, the top edit. Yeah, that's a big thing we talked about. Like using those traps. One trap equals one kill in solos. Like you just have to expect and anticipate. You have to anticipate them dropping down to wall replacer like that. Though where it becomes an issue is when they're not wall replacing you and when they're roof replacing you. That's when it gets kind of tricky. Because you can't really trap from above. Like unless you double ramp and the guy's on like running on your ramp. Like we saw in that previous endgame. Yeah, so he's pretty scuffed here after that fight. Just using those 8 rockets. That was big. Yeah, this was such a huge kill for him. It was Zimio. This is a big pickup. No, I think he just recognized that he had like, I don't know, 12 RPGs or rockets or whatever. Just spam them, see what you get. And he ended up actually getting lucky. Rocket was so ballsy. Yeah, he's got some ballsy rockets for sure. Like some are really smart. Some make me worried. Yeah, so off that Zimio kill, he got HP back, he got mats back. Now he just has the tarp in. He did need to kill you there. Yeah, he got the zone pool, so he might as well RPG everyone coming in. This RPG right here, this is what I wanted to talk about. This was like, this is such a beautiful play. I want you guys to take a moment to appreciate this. How beautiful this play is. Let's watch that back. He boxes the player up. He doesn't have a trap. That's fine. This is his cone, his, you know, walls. He owns this box. He replaces the ramp. He doesn't have a trap, right? So it's not an easy trap kill. What he does instead is he pulls out his RPG. He goes deep into his own box. He has the wall edit, he has the ramp edit, nothing can block him. And he just RPGs the guy. 115 damage kills the guy. Tries to grab all the loot, it all drops down unfortunately, so he doesn't get any of that, but still like a beautiful kill. Beautiful kill. Like I love, that's probably, so we were talking about like top 3 like smartest moments. That's That's top 3. Probably number 2. So that's just what it comes down to, like talking about mechanics, right? Like that's where your mechanics need to be. I mean, those mats would be nice too. Yeah, but you can't drop down for them, right? Like, because you could drop down and the guy has like, he just drops the 150 mats. Yeah, just trying to barely squeeze in here. Yeah, using those RPGs. Like, if you have them, spend them, you know?
What are you doing, bro?
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't think he won this one. This might have been his 4th place. But yeah, he has floppers, so I think around here he starts to play for those floppers. Yeah, this is... Like, we were talking about those risky RPG plays. This is one of those where it didn't really pay off. He did get the kill, but he lost so much more because of it. So I don't know. I don't know if it was worth it. Like, he could have RPG'd over here instead, right? Like the top right. Instead of like going for that open edit. Because the edit got closed. But if he went for the top right, that would have been... Like, he still breaks the box. And he still goes for the shotgun battle. But yeah. That's something to work on as well. Like, being a little too comfortable with RPGs close range sometimes. Yeah, he's been doing this a lot more too. Like, just getting everything up. Oh, was this one? I remember this.
Oh, GG's. Not bad. That's...
Here, this is like a micro thing, but like, here he should have re-edited this cone into a ramp facing zone so that he was on top of the ramp. Instead of like flying out here like this, wide open. And then like having to see where the guy is with like nothing to cover him. Like, he should have been over here onto the ramp. Like, he edits out and then he re-edits it into a ramp. Then he's one ramp above the guy over there. And then he RPGs the guy instead of flying out like this. Because he had another flopper. But that's like a micro thing. But that would have been huge. And I'm not asking too much either, because he literally does it all the time. He literally edits out and then re-edits cones into ramps so that he stands on top of.
Not bad.
But like, yeah, I don't think he expected the guy to be looking so far back in zone. Yeah, even if he didn't, it's still, I think, I just feel like this frame right here, this picture, where like he's flying out with an RPG, shouldn't be a thing. Right? Like, he shouldn't be like so exposed. Like, I don't know. I feel like this shouldn't be a situation that he puts himself into. Like, this could have easily been, I don't know, like a top 2 if he played it like a little bit smarter, right? So like, this is the box he's in, this is the cone edit, and he resets the cone and makes the ramp so he's standing on the ramp instead of... Yeah, I mean, that's just like an idea. I don't know. I just don't think exposing yourself like that and doing like a 50-50 RPG shot where you have to identify where the target is while you're up in the air jumping is, I don't know. It's like the basketball equivalent of like doing a jump shot while you have like the defender trying to block you. Like, you have to like figure out, you know, do a 360 and then like figure out where the hoop is and then try to like, you know, swish it in as opposed to like taking that moment to like see and gather a little bit of information for that split second on the ramp. Fadeaway jumper, there you go. That's exactly what he did right there. He did a fadeaway jumper with an RPG. But he's tanking too Storm too much? Nah, he had a flopper. Stormplay was fine. Khanada's probably one of the only pros. Khanada's one of the only pros that actually consistently does the door edit, guys. Like I tune into other pros, they rarely do this. Right? Like look, the guy does what you're supposed to do, right? When someone's going for your cone, you edit on them with your pump out and you try to shoot them. They get the trade, but it's so much harder for the other guy. Khanada actually wins that trade. Right? And then he SMGs the guy dead. Like you make it like a magnitude more difficult for the guy to actually shoot you by doing that door edit. Little speedy classic. So we were talking about it earlier, right? Where you have to give someone a reason to stop spraying you. We talked about that like game 1 or 2, I forget. But here he has his RPG. Same situation almost. Almost the exact same situation. It's on low ground. There's a guy on high ground or like above him. Guy starts spraying like an idiot for no reason. Alright, again the guy spams his wall for no reason. Get the tag on Khanada. Like, you have to give a reason. You gotta give that guy a reason to stop. There it is again. Guy won't stop. Now he has to stop. Like, now Khanada gave that guy a reason to stop. Not only that, but he actually dropped the guy. And Khanada now has to hide on the guy. We're just chilling here, edge of zone. Maybe we get 50-50. Don't get 50-50. This is the other big thing. As soon as you don't get zone, just go immediately. That's the rule. Just go. Don't wait for the other guy, just go. Pickaxe if you need to. This is the other thing we were talking about. That guy, I think, was chill, but like this other guy right here, like Khanada's too trusting. We talked about this. Like Khanada's too trusting, and that guy ends up beaming him because of it. Right? Like having too much faith in the pickaxe is gonna get you killed. Like spend some wood, right? Like spend a little bit of wood, break line of sight. Just don't have absolute faith that those guys are gonna not focus you and not target you. Thoughts on SMG? I think in solos you should run SMG endgame. It's way better than an AR. Like I was watching DreamHack and some guy was running like no AR, no shotgun, no sniper. He was just running SMG and like 4 utility items, and it was working because his tracking was insane. Like you can, especially like if you're on controller, like you don't even need a shotgun. The SMG is better than a shotgun if you have like perfect tracking. It rips through build, it rips through health. Yeah, that's an extreme example, but it's just a demonstration of like how good an SMG is. Double SMGs, I don't know, that might be too much. I'm gonna run out of small ammo. I think here he's just like looking, like I think he knows he needs something big. Yeah, he RPGs himself again. Close quarter situation. That's 2 in a row. He loses that kill. So that's an area of improvement, like RPGing yourself too much. Can't really hold height here even if you wanted. Yeah. So here he was like 150 HP. And some decent mats. Like not great, but decent. And then this is what kills him. Right, this RPG gets him down to 19. He was 150. The close range RPG ruins his game. And I don't know, instead of going down, he starts to like, he goes to height. He loses this kill, which is also like very unfortunate. I know. The other thing people don't realize is like if you're in this situation, you can jump off into water, right? Because he's like direct. If you're looking at the map, he's directly above water. Like if you're in this situation, you can just jump. So no fall damage. You don't need to be up here. Like look, if you look at the right, you can see all this water that he could just jump into. Especially with like no mats. Because I don't think he holds this, right? There's a guy pressuring him already. Like you can try to hold it with 19 HP, but I don't know how well your game's gonna go. You could also try to like find someone else's rat and break in, go for a play there, but like I don't think you hold height. I think you go like lower and try to find a kill. I don't know. It's so situational, but like when did that happen? That happened first moving. So there's like a psycho trying to like fight for high ground first moving. Yeah, first moving. People have a lot of mats. People are gonna build fight you. People have too many resources first moving. You shouldn't be on height. I think that's a rule everyone should be aware of. Like first moving, people have way too many resources. You shouldn't try to hold height for that specific reason. Like the amount of mats in people's inventory first moving are just the most they're gonna be out of any moving circle. Oh yeah, this is when he W keyed. He had 14 minutes. Can you do a VOD review of Unknown? I don't know. I know the problem with VOD reviewing Unknown is like people are so dismissive because of his controller playstyle, right? So I like if I try to take some reasonable takeaways from him, it almost becomes a meme. Like I feel like people just feel like they can't learn. He does a lot of shit you just can't pull on PC. That's exactly the sentiment everyone has. So like that's why I feel like VOD reviewing Unknown is not productive. Because whether or not it's true, like people believe it. So people will not want to watch or not want to learn from him. Have you tried 900 instead of 1080? No, I haven't. I can try it. Nice little trap kill. Yeah, guys, like if you have a trap in your inventory, that's always a free kill. You just gotta learn how to use it. A good map to practice your trap kills is Speedy's trap kill map. #ad. No, but really, I made that map for Tfue because he wanted to warm up his traps. It's a decent map. I'm still working on stuff. Maybe like after VOD reviews, I can jump into creative and keep working on it, like as a creative stream. But more updates to come. What 3 guns are the best in game? Pump, P90, RPG. Like I'm sure like a lot of people know traps are kind of a big deal in solos, but not a lot of people actually make it a core part of their gameplay. Not like Khanada, at least. I feel like. Or like some of the top solo players. Like people kind of have them, but then they forget they even have a trap and then they die in a box fight, having not even placed a trap down. I remember this. This was him being too trusting again, I feel like. Here he starts to get more suspicious of the guy. Because I told him, like, invest some wood to block the guy. So he pickaxes, but he has his wall ready. So that's good. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier. Khanada, like, on the fly picking up concepts. The problem here was there was a guy in the back on top of the house that I don't think either of these players knew about. So then this guy becomes a problem. Yeah, so Khanada tries to, like, push him again, and then the guy takes his shield off again. Then Khanada pushes the house, and then the guy disappears. The guy's gone. I don't understand what that was.
Balanced,
What was the point of that from that guy? Yeah, that guy... I was watching his back. That guy's smart. Because he's pickaxing too, but like he doesn't trust Khanada, which is good. Especially because Khanada's about to like get a sniper. So the guy builds. That's what you're supposed to do. In your mind, is the middle map better than outside for drops? For solos, yeah. Because you get to zone easier and you don't have to deal with all these mid-game rotates. The zone. Yeah, this rotate's kind of a good one to watch. So he doesn't get zoned right, and this is like...
I'm so marketable. I'm literally so marketable, dude. I'm literally so marketable, dude. Like, I literally get it.
Like, you see this right, and you're like, damn, this is a tough rotate. But this is where the pickaxe meta has kind of like really turned beneficial for everyone. Like, everyone's just chilling, go in the zone. I feel like this wasn't possible a month ago. Like, you were dead on this rotate a month ago.
I'm gonna go far left here. That's so fucking tempting.
Yo, how many points do you get? He's still flying.
So shut up.
Alright, sorry.
So pickaxing is just let's both move to zone. Yeah, I think it just signals that you're like a friendly. It's supposed to signal that you're a friendly and like, hey, we're both smart. Let's make it endgame here. Yeah, guys, like we both have the same priorities. And I think Storm Surge was an issue this game too.
I'm sure just fucking popping.
What's your stance on pickaxing? I don't know, like there's some fundamental flaws with solos. It just kind of developed out of necessity more than anything. Like, I don't know, everything before half-half I really don't give a shit about. Anything after half-half, like that's the real comp game. Thoughts on him basing here and not move more center zone? I think Khanada just likes to get in and not get greedy for better positioning. Especially like here where like he has a chance to get half-half. Luckily, like Khanada wasn't the one getting focused, it was this guy. Like whoever this guy was. That's the guy who was chosen to be focused by the entire lobby because, you know, Storm Surge appeared, and when Storm Surge is up, like all bets are off. You can't pickaxe your way out of it. Like everyone needs their tags. A pickaxe isn't gonna be enforced.
Go active, baby. I'm so above right now. And I get zone here too. I get zone, baby. Come on. Let's go. Right here. Oh my god.
Yeah, this was a big... This is the other thing, like... He goes south instead of... I don't know. This is a small thing. I'll just say it just to say it, but like sometimes I'm put in a position where like I think, okay, this entire... It wasn't free this time, but like I'm thinking this entire side of zone is like a free rotate. But at the end of the day, I just feel like whatever the shorter rotate is the good rotate, right? Never go down the middle. Because I think Booga does this a lot. He goes down the middle to zone, and that gets him and his squad killed. Like, you should always go like the shortest distance path. Even if this is free. Like, it's a higher distance and more time investment. And I don't know, like, I just feel like it never works out. That doesn't really apply here, but it's just something I want to talk about. It can be good if there's a lot of fully built walls. I don't know, like... Do you guys remember that game where, like, in squads, chap, 72 hours, like that, the boomer squad died going down the middle, following a ramp tarp. It was like, I think it was Innocence or Binny or Diggy's tarp. There's a clip somewhere. But yeah, they died going down straight the middle, even though there was like a full tarp for them. That was Destroy. That was so funny. This was huge. Because Destroy was built up in zone, so he had like height and mats. So Khanada just had height and mats and loot off of that kill. And an RPG.
I'm so good at this game.
What do you think is the best at rotating endgame? I personally think it's Aspect or G2 to Hajj. I need to watch the Hajj. I haven't watched the Hajj. Again, like I've been focusing more on NA than EU. This is a good trap. I don't know why the guy coned. Generally, like when you fall down like this, guys, I think the ramp, if you ramp instead of cone, or you know what? You know what's even better? If you make this your cone, dude. Yo, that's, you know how like if you stand in the corner, you phase it. What if you phase, like you put down the cone and you phase it yourself, so the guy can't put down a cone or a ramp? You know what I'm talking about? You put the trap down, right? You edit your walls. And then instead of sitting here like that, you put the cone down, but like you're standing in the corner. Like you guys remember the way that like you used to do the phase trick to get into someone's box, where like you put the two walls and then you phase through the cone? Same concept here, except it's your cone phasing. They literally can't do anything. They just drop, they phase through the cone because you're phasing it. They drop on the trap and then they're stuck here. Because 9 times out of 10, a guy ramps and then the trap doesn't go off. This is where we develop metas, guys. My stream. Let's go.
Please. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, he does get zone here.
Bad.
Yeah, and there's a guy like... It's really scuffed. This is why you go early, because
Zone is so far from fucking trying to fight me.
you buy yourself time to heal during these rotates when shit happens. Like that guy beaming you in the back. You have time to pause because you went early, instead of spending those few precious seconds. Nice RPG hit. Guys under him. That was a good ramp too. If you guys saw that, like he did a wide connect on that ramp, like a long reach. Like look how far that ramp is. He does like a super long reach for that ramp. That was a good reach. I know most people usually try to cone because they saw on Reddit that like cones reach farther, but like you could also do the ramp. Like you'll be lower, but it's almost the same reach, and it buys you more time, where like if you do the cone, sometimes you'll land under the cone. Yeah, nice. That split second was him checking to see if he had traps, and then he gets the free kill. You can see it too, like you can see the mental checklist here. Like he pauses here just to check that he has traps, then he goes for the trap play. Like traps are so big. Like anytime you have a trap, that's a free kill. That should be what's going on in your mind. If I have a trap, that's a free kill. And if you're not getting trap kills, it's because you're trapping wrong. And you need to work on your trap mechanics. Like someone asked me earlier how to get more kills endgame. Like yeah, there's the method Beg said where like you go for AR kills by like going ahead of zone and like looking back, but like box fighting is also a thing. Look, all these trap kills, they're all free kills, guys. Getting all these trap kills, like that's 2 trap kills this endgame. They're almost risk-free, right? Because if you play them right, the guy can't shoot you while you trap them. Just like going for these quick, like box up your opponent mid-rotate, catch them in all your builds, and then trap them. It's like, it's the freest kills ever. Got a mats here.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, he should have been more aware of his mats than this guy here.
Oh, fuck.
This was a good trap though. This is a really good trap. That guy didn't have white heels. I was just checking to see if he missed floppers because he just like quick looted that body.
Oh,
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the Khanada. Alright guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that VOD review of Khanada. And if you don't already, please do follow me on Twitter. The reason I'm asking you isn't to plug my socials, it's because I'm way more active on Twitter than I am on YouTube. Unfortunately, I haven't been uploading as much lately. I apologize. Maybe I'll try to fix that. I don't know. But if you do want the latest tips and tricks and content from me, I'm going to be more active on Twitter than I am on YouTube, just because of the nature of, you know, how quick it is to upload an idea or a video on Twitter versus a whole YouTube upload. But yeah, that's kind of the background there and logic. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new, and I'll see you next time. Peace.